sitting next to me are Kevin, Daniel, and David of Love and Rockets. It's great to have you guys here. I'm really excited that you came down to do the show.
Okay.
I mean, being 3/4 of Bauhaus, such an influential band with yourselves and Peter, and just, I mean, I'm sure you've seen over the years how many bands you've influenced and people that have taken that direction that you guys had started a long time ago. Speaking of direction, with Love and Rockets, I mean, we know about Tones on Tail, but with Love and Rockets, when that really started out, I kind of got the feeling that at the end of the Bauhaus on the last album, Burning from the Inside, songs like Slice of Life was already going in the direction you were going as a three-piece.
Yeah, it was basically the start of this group, really. I mean, the chemistry was completely different when Peter wasn't there because he had pneumonia and stuff, so the first couple of weeks he wasn't there, so we started to do backing tracks. But we already had about 4 or 5 numbers that were ready to go, you know, like we had the words all sorted and everything. So we just went in and started, we thought, well, we might as well finish the whole thing off, you know. So we had, like, by the time Pete got down there was 2 or 3 tracks that were finished. So it was the catalyst for this group, really.
And I remember, it's funny, because thinking back to that time, I remember us getting together and this different chemistry happening without Peter in the room. And we were sort of, we were, I think, aware of it and just sort of looking at each other thinking, there's something going on here, and it's really interesting. It was very odd because we knew Peter was coming down and it would completely change again. And I think he found it a bit strange as well because we'd progressed so much and we'd recorded so much and got on and done it, you know, without him, that he felt like a bit of an appendage, you know, when he came down.
Set me up again. You make me lose my friends. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Your feet are still on the ground, so you put me down. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with you. You're no big deal, no big deal. I got into a fight, got into it tonight. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with you. You talk much too loud when you put me down. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with you. I don't feel you're no big deal, no big deal. Just don't know what I'm gonna do
Welcome to another installment in my classic album deep dive series. Today, I'm going to be talking about the fourth self-titled album by Love and Rockets, who most people know for the single So Alive. And yes, it is on this album, but I would submit to you, it's kind of the weakest song on this album. A great song to be sure, but it's such a great album. I think that it tends to be one of my least favorite on the album, even though I love it to death, if that makes any sense at all. So anyway, who the hell were Love and Rockets? So Love and Rockets began life as the goth rock pioneers, Bauhaus. I love saying that word. I might say it just for my own personal pleasure throughout the video. Bauhaus. Anyway, they were goth rock pioneers. You had Peter Murphy, who was on vocals, Daniel Ash on guitar, David J on bass and vocals, and Kevin Haskins on drums and synthesizers. They released 4 studio albums. During the last studio album, Peter Murphy had pneumonia, and so he was missing for much of the recording sessions, and the remaining trio found that they gelled together so well without Peter Murphy that at the end of that album, they just decided to separate. They all went their separate ways. The trio of David J, Daniel Ash, and Kevin Haskins would form Love and Rockets, and they would release 3 albums before the album that we're talking about today. And they moved away from the goth rock sound somewhat. They still retained elements of it, but they moved in a more new wave, radio-friendly kind of direction, starting with their second album, Express, which had a hit single during that period, Ball of Confusion.
Who put the filling in pie in the sky? The city's aflame in the summertime. And the beat goes on. And the beat goes on. And the beat goes on.
Their next album, Earth, Sun, Moon, contained another single, which was a moderate hit, No New Tale to Tell.
My world is your world. People like to hear their names. I'm no exception. Please call my name. Call my name.
And then their breakthrough album was the self-titled, the record that we're going to talk about today. The album kicks off with the weirdly titled 4-star, and in parentheses, Jungle Law. You've got buzzsaw guitars. There's this driving mechanical drum beat. Kind of the whole song is drenched in this feedback, but that's kind of Love and Rockets moving away from what was sort of a folky sound with their previous album, getting more into heavy, hard rock on here. And as an opening track, it really is in your face. I like this one a lot. It's kind of an assault on the senses in a way, but Jungle Law is a great way to open up the record. The next track, No Big Deal, is one of the songs that really feels like they are paying tribute to T-Rex and some of the glam rock artists of the 70s. Again, you've got buzzsaw guitars, but it has this cool bang-a-gong almost rhythm to it. The song is sung in kind of a very detached way by Daniel Ash, which I think is kind of cool. But No Big Deal is definitely one of the standout tracks for me. The third track, The Purest Blue, has this ambient sound to it. Almost sounds like a Brian Eno track. There's a couple of spoken word lyrics, but other than that, it's strictly an instrumental. This song is closer in mood and feel to their Bauhaus days than most of what they had done with Love and Rockets, but I think it's a cool track. The fourth track on side one, Motorcycle, is definitely the heaviest thing on this album. Abrasive guitars, there's just this onslaught of heavy buzzsaw, chainsaw guitars throughout the entire song. This galloping beat, which I think is very cool. It all holds together very well in spite of the cacophony of noise, as it were, but I really like this song a lot. The last track on side one is the gorgeous I Feel Speed. Now, there's some instrumentals that Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots would record on their albums that really remind me of this song. It's so mellow. It's just a trippy, psychedelic bit of ambient rock. I love it. It's such a chill tune, a cool way to close out side one.
Motorcycle and me.
Side 2 opens up with Bound for Hell, which is the closest thing to a blues track I think Love and Rockets had recorded to this point. Again, a heavy onslaught of guitar, some echoey harmonica throughout the track. It just kind of barrels along like a freight train.
Well, faith flies off the mountain every day. No parachute and no press to say. Yes, my faith flies off the mountain every day. And there's no parachute, no goddamn press to say. Frightened little monkey up a telegraph pole, sending out a signal to somebody, 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 please, somebody. I wanna hear a song that makes me believe in something. I wanna hear a song that makes me believe something. Wanna hear a song that makes me believe there's something to believe in. Wanna hear a song that makes me believe. Had a dream. I was riding on a train that wasn't bound for glory. Riding on a train, the train was bound for hell. Riding on a train that wasn't bound for glory, that's for sure. Riding on a train bound for hell. The engine was human, blood was damp. The headlight was a brimstone lamp. An nymph of fuel was shoveling bones, and the furnace roared with 1,000 groans. The tank was filled with lager beer. The devil himself was engineer. The passengers were a mixed up crew. Churchman, atheist, Baptist, Jew. The raging broadcloth, pouring rags, handsome girls, wrinkled hags, black men, yellow, red and white, chained together, fearful sight. The train rushed on at an awful pace. The sulfur fumes burned hands and face. Wilder and wilder the country grew. Faster and faster the engine flew.
I love this song, how they're able to wed heavy alternative rock to almost a Led Zeppelin type blues song. The next track is The Teardrop Collector, which is another moody ambient track. I really love this one. It's just a chill, relaxing track. There's some finger snap rhythm that gives it a little bit of a retro feel, but I absolutely love this song. The next track is So Alive. Of course, everybody's familiar with So Alive. I remember this being heavily played on the radio back in 1989.
Don't know what color your eyes are, baby, but your hair is long and
I had the Casingle back then. This is definitely paying tribute to T-Rex, no question about it. It has an Electric Warrior feel to it. The next track, Rock and Roll Babylon, could have very easily been just another heavy track on this album, but instead of using the heavy guitars that they had employed on other songs earlier in the album, they use a string quartet, a menacing string quartet. Think the end of Glass Onion, but it adds such a cool effect to this song. Very interesting, out-of-the-box arrangement. I like this one a lot. And then the album winds down with No Words, No More, which again, we're going mellow, hypnotic, cinematic, very moody, atmospheric. Love this one a lot. Harkens back again to the Bauhaus days. But Love and Rockets, as a whole, this album is just amazing. I love this record. Can't say enough good things about it. Let me know what you think. Have you heard it before? Are you familiar with Love and Rockets? And where does it fall for you within their discography? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying these deep dives. And take care.